everyone, I'm Rob Smith of Smith and Black with the Strat Time Report, and tough to sugarcoat this one. We got us a beat down, smackdown on a Monday, and simultaneous break, which I'll show you in a second. So, one of the important things about learning how to gauge magnitude is understanding that outside bars exist, right? So, and if they're willing to pay up and sell down, they might do it again. The broadening formation gets bigger, thus the name. That's what you're witnessing here. So, if you go to the SPY, first of all, in the daily, how do you get in on this? Oh, yeah. The two up, the two down reversal, and no higher high. Boom, down she goes. But if we look at this monthly, and this is going to be really important, right? And this is how you don't read charts, you analyze data of what's going on. And so what you're seeing here is, remember, this is the fourth outside month out of the last five. So here, outside month, folks down, outside month, took out both sides. Then marches up, tried to hit it here, but then goes back to the highs for an outside month, taking out both of these. Then we start off the new year poking up. Boom, this becomes an outside bar of that, and when that works, that gets you back into these, right? So we were looking to take this stuff out, which we got, right? We talked about this below 426.36, and down it goes. So we're on a Monday, and so what we're seeing here, obviously the weekly and the daily and the 60 are all the same opening for the first hour. And what we see here is that almost everything is taking out Friday's lows at the same shot. Now, you'll also hear me say every 60 is like a new day to us, right? So now if we're going to stabilize here, we got a new 60 minute, right, to see if we can stay inside, because we just had a simultaneous break combination. What that means is when we gap down, almost everything was a two down on the day, almost everything, right? Tough to turn that around, right out the chute. Then you had the inside 60 to attempt to stabilize, and then the break, the down sideways measured move, and that was pretty much in everything. If you go to QQQ here, right, also an inside 60 down, everything was doing that. It was a simultaneous break to the downside on the inside 60, 2-1-2 continuation. And once again, here's those outside months in the Qs here. We were looking to take this out. These become an outside bar of that because this broadening formation got bigger. The question is, how much further down do we go? Right now we're in exhaustion risk. We're just hitting some new recent lows. But like a lot of things are looking here are all looking like the futures, right? So that's what happens when you have a big move in the futures. Everything tends to look pretty much the same until they mellow out, because you haven't. If there's any like natural buyers in anything, these guys are just getting out of the way. Like these features are tanking. So if we go to the Dow Jones Diamonds here, also inside 60 to the downside, right? And we were looking to take this baby out here, which we did. You got a little bit more, and we take these guys out. These become an outside bar of all of that. You see, right? See in this weekly, that's not right. Let's change that. There we go, puker, right after the 2-2 reversal on the highs, right? So everything looking very similar, right? We just went inside 60 down, but now new 60, so we're going to stabilize, right? Because over time, as things mellow out, you'll start to see a little bit more strength and weakness than we're seeing right now, because everybody's looking like the futures. If you go to small caps held a little better, but did go inside and down on the 60. We know they've been in trouble for a while, and we're looking to take a bunch of this stuff out, which we got after this failure up in here. And you can see this on the monthly or the weekly. The 2-2 reversal calls the highs. Boom, down she goes. But new 60s is going to be the flavor, because you're not seeing too much to the upside, and you're not seeing a lot of things that that look different than the futures. If anything, you've got XRT here. XRT is at least higher than an open. Right, that's something. That's saying something in this environment, right? And so what we're seeing there is some, like Dillard's DDS having a nice day here. Anybody short this thing? It's a little thin, but you got your 2-2 reversal on the day to the upside, and you can see what that's done. Real nice move there. If you go to the 30, you'll see this. The inside 30 to the upside, right there. Anybody short this thing is getting jammed, right? And this is going after the month here, right? I mean after the week, right? So you always want to put yourself against people in losing positions. And you can notice here on the daily, outside day took out both sides. Then down, 322 on the day. So that magnitude is still up there, 250, 290. A little bit more to go. We'll see. If we go to Williams-Sonoma, and trying to take out yesterday's highs. Like I said, there's not too much out there that's looking too good, but at least it's somewhat of a concentration. Urban Outfitters, took out Friday's highs. If you go to BKE, also taking out Friday's highs. So anybody short these kind of things, if the market does firm up, they're in trouble. They're in trouble right now. You're like, market SPY's down 1560 and your stock's going up. Yep. Even Children's Place PLCE, Abercrombie here coming up. You've got Macy's gaps and kind of sits there, but it is a 2 up on the day. And CONN. All right. CONN taking out. There's another outside day. 2 down, 322, looking to take this out here, 24.28, unless they succumb to these futures, which wouldn't surprise me, but we'll see. SPY, once again, new 60 starting to go red again. Here, like these things are heavy, and so oftentimes you'll hear me talk about that. I can tell you what's going on in the market with scanning. I don't necessarily need charts. They help us with the broadening formations, but here, if we pull my scanner up here, I'm going to show you something. Right? This is what's going to tell you what's happening in the market. Okay. Here's everybody taking out yesterday's highs. Right. KSS had a gap up. Macy's, AEO. So you can see Kroger. If anything, it's some retail, like I just pointed out. Urban Outfitters, Foot Locker. These are taking out yesterday's highs. Right. But there's almost nothing in there. Right. Except for that. And they're not up by much. So if we sort this now for who's taking out Friday's lows? It's everybody. Look at this. Ford, Apple, Sophie, Palantir, more new lows. AMD, Nvidia, AMC, Microsoft, Bank of America, American Airlines, Pfizer, Snap, CCL. So you can see this, how deep this is comparatively. Citicorp, Exxon, DraftKings, you name it. They're taking out Friday's lows. Is that a problem? It is. I mean, it's a simultaneous break on the daily, right? How are you going to turn that around? Well, what you're going to need to do is going to need to change these 60s, right? And first of all, you're going to need some 60s to turn around. We don't have any evidence of that just yet, as they're taking them out and shooting them. As you remember, SMH, still hasn't taken out. Well, there it is. Boom. Right, and we've known that this has been the leader on your weakness because of that monthly. Was it inside bar? Poked up, boom, 1 bar rev stretch to the downside. 1-3 outside bar, and now coming back through this range. Nvidia, and you're going to see this also as part of the simultaneous break on the 60. Inside 60, down she goes. Nvidia here also is the inside 60, right? These are really difficult to turn around. Why you want to know about a simultaneous break? Because you got Nvidia doing this here. Once again, the inside month, boom, to the downside, 212 reversal back into an old 3, right? And the low of this is 195.55. So if you think this party's over, it might not be. It might just be warming up. You got stuff like TTD. Just gap and sit. Micro little 60 down here, but once again, this is why we started the monthly chart, because here you go. There's your 212 on the month. It's still coming down and trying to take this stuff out, and that's going to be all the way down at 63.93. How about our BLX? Oh boy. If you liked it at 140, you got to love it at 61. Just getting cremated. And so, like I said, a lot of these things are going to look like the futures, and that's why we want to see, once they stabilize, do they step into anything, or is this an all-day puke fest? Because we did have to start off the year crude doing well, right? And now, to start off the new week, 2-2 reversal, right? That's a bit of a problem. But if we do firm up, we knew that XLE had a lot of things on the monthlies that were still good, a lot of yearly charts and stuff like that. But right now you got your 2-2 reversal on the week, right? So if you miss that boat, that's good, right? Maybe these things set up again. Right now, not so much. If we go to OIH inside on the 60 right now, it's not doing much, but let's see if that heats that month back up if we stabilize. Right now, still looking like inside 30s to start off the new hour. If you go to GameStonk, GameStonk taking all these guys out, still puking memes, having all sorts of trouble. To start off, AMC, here, now potential 60, but you can see these memes giving it up, but good. And sticking with all the big boys, Amazon. And Amazon, what do we know about Amazon? Inside month to the downside. Were we looking to take these guys out? We were, because we failed up in here. I think it's a go rally, do you? I think it's a go rally, do you? Inside month to the downside, back to previous range. Now these bars become an outside bar of all that, you see? If we go to Netflix, all your faves, puke. Look at this. And this closed as an inside 60, and down she goes. We've known about this since this reversal on the month. And that's why we watch those monthly charts, right? Right here. 2 up by taking out the highs, 2 down, and that kicked in at 640.01. She's trading 355, right? If you go to Apple, and if you go to Apple on the month, what's going on here? Apple took out the high, boom, outside month. So once you can see a 2 fail and start going blood red through here, you're looking for an outside bar, because we know those exist, right? Apple certainly did that. So like I said, big boys having some problems. If you go to Boeing, and Boeing had a nice start, trying to go 322 on the month, but then fails on the week. Yes, last week, 2 up, turns red, boom, outside bar to the downside. This buying is still being rejected as far as we know. There's your inside 60 to the downside. You go to Cat. Cat was having a nice month here off the inside month, but stops all these guys out. Not strong enough to climb that wall, and then boom, outside bar to the downside, still puking. Obviously watching those with the Dow Jones. If we go to Baidu, and Baidu, these weeklies are messing up on me, but 3-2 to the downside week. Coming back into here, you can see had a rough one off the outside day on Friday. So that tells us, take a look at all China. There's your Baba, down she goes. If we go to Tesla, earnings coming out this week. And Tesla inside 60 to the downside with that break. And once it started to puke here, what were we looking for? The outside month. Take them out both sides. Did it. And on the weekly, got back into this old outside week here. Down she goes. But earnings coming on Wednesday. We got a lot of earnings coming out here. We got Microsoft here, so maybe earnings will save some of this stuff. You can see Microsoft now, these 3 became an outside bar of all this, see, on this sell-off. Now trying to firm up a little bit. Market's trying to firm up. Like I said, we're going to keep watching these 60s to see if we get the inside 60, because if we're going to bottom out, you got to have some sort of reversal, right? And so at the top of the hour, so far, you get your inside 30s to start off, right? So we'll see how that goes. If you go to Moderna, and Moderna, the inside month to the downside. Have we known about this? We sure have, all month. This thing's been having all sorts of trouble. Still puking here, now trying to firm up with the market. But tough day over there. Still, how about Plug? And Plug, oh boy, ever since this, you see this on that month? 2 up, 2 down. These guys are going to take this out right here. 2390, let's see, 1847. How much more room we got on this thing? It did it. These 3 are an outside bar of all that, you see? So learning how to look for these outside bars as they're forming gives you the magnitude, and the bigger they are, the further things are going to go. That's what you want to know about, right? When you try to find what big moves look like while they're happening, before they're happening, during, all that kind of stuff. Right now, we're keeping an eye on all the futures here to see about the inside 30s, if they form the inside 60s, because at that point, once things start to level out a little bit, we will see some strength and weakness in different sectors. Right now, everything getting caught up in the futures. All right, that's going to do it for today. I'm up to the Smith the Black Strat Time Report.